Hello, good day to everyone. I'd like you to welcome to Truck Driver Nation's Freight Dispatcher Training Program. We'll get on with it because obviously I like getting to the Q&A because that's where we get a majority of the questions. It ends up being drawn out if we don't get there, so let's get started. So this is obviously stepping into the world of freight dispatching. You will transfer your career because I mean, the ones that are already truck drivers, you're going to love it because you're not running around, you get home time. And for y'all that are coming in from the outside that don't have no logistical experience, you came into a great school because you have a lot of truck drivers here and it makes a really strong team. All right, so obviously it's Truck Driver Nation's Freight Dispatcher Training Program. Um, and let's proceed on. All right, this is going to be a little bit of information about me. I did graduate from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. I did paramedic, then I did nurse. That was after I came out of the military. After that, I got into transportation, 27 years over the road, also as an owner operator, another 7 years in driver recruiting for multiple carriers. And inside those years of a mixture of all that, I was either doing dispatching on the side for owner operators or dispatching for my own equipment. And so logistics is what I do. This is my career. Okay, question on this is going to be why dispatching? The truth of it is, why not? I mean, when you're talking about dispatching, you are right there with the brokers. Brokers, obviously, I've been on that side. I understand how they operate. You're basically the same thing. It just depends on how you handle it because you can do direct shippers, the shipper. But while you're doing this, understand what you're getting into is completely scalable. You can work from home. There ain't no licenses required, and you can make a very good income doing this. The biggest issue is that we've got an aging population when it comes to folks that are actually in logistics. It's just the people coming in after that generation, whatever it might be. It is just don't have the work ethic. So job security is not going to be your issue. Career flexibility, work for established companies or start your own dispatching service. Lots of people start out working for a company, then they move over to their own dispatch service because they build some overall connections. The best part about dealing with coming into where I'm training you and teaching you for the carriers to have, where we're working with them to put you into a spot with those carriers is that you've already got access to a lot of stuff by dealing with me. I made tons of drivers because I got databases I've collected over the year, and I'm literally giving all the students access to that. So whatever your mission is, you let me know, and I have no problem. I will help you get there. So we're going to break off into a very short run through of the course overview. What you will learn when you get done, you'll definitely know the fundamentals of dispatching in the freight industry, that's for sure. You'll get real world insight based on extensive experience, effective operations and logistic management experience. So we do coursework mixed in with actual practical hands-on doing all of it, paperwork, calls, getting the loads from the brokers or shippers. So what you're looking at is you're going to get an overview. Right here, this is going to be the logistics and transportation industry. So this tells you what you are as a dispatcher. And what these are, this is basically the table of contents for the course. You got the course, and then we got a lot of extra stuff because I give you real world stuff, what's really works, real connections to real links and all the other stuff. But the importance of freight dispatchers, obviously in the supply chain, like I said, is unparalleled to most things of what people think. The money's there, the opportunity's there, job securement is there. Types of freight and carriers, you're going to be exposed to all of it. All types of equipment, setups, like this right here. This is, I guess this is a 379. But anyways, all the different types of equipment, the setups versus the trailers. I mean, everything from you got everything that you're considering with these. I mean, you got the chassis, everything, the tanks, tires, you name it. All this has a factor on what you're dealing with when it comes to understanding your equipment setups. Roles and responsibilities. Detailed responsibilities of a freight dispatcher. Communication between brokers, carriers, shippers, and drivers. Problem solving and conflict resolution and dispatching. That's a mouthful. I don't sound like much, but it is because you are literally the crossroads of all these. Between the brokers, the carriers, the shippers, and the drivers, you're trying to keep them all from killing each other and not make your blood pressure go up. Um, it just, as long as you stay organized and things and these different factors, then you can easily manage this. Just don't let nobody that you're dealing with make it such a big issue, because, you're going to feel the pressure. Oh, well, we got a claim. Remember, you did your part. The other part has to do with that carrier, that driver, or whoever it was. So you are literally just mitigating between these people, getting it solved. If it's an OS&D issue, which is an over shortage and damage problem, or billing, why is it not going through factoring, different things like that. Um, so when you say conflict, you're just problem solving. Legal and compliance issues, it's a lot easier than what you'd think. We'll go over it, you'll get a handle on it, but there's always something that you can go further, and some of that you're going to learn over time after being in the industry. But we'll go over the overview of transportation regulations, where it's the FMCSA or DOT regulations. The HOS, which is hours of service, that's your compliance. Basically, that's your driver's overall available time to run in any given 60-hour or 70-hour period. Understanding contracts, liability, and insurance requirements. Contracts, whether it's carrier, carrier packets, um, let's say your load confirmations, the liability that you have in these different ones, and insurance requirements. Um, you can't move freight with these without the right insurance. Insurance runs the game. When it comes to the dispatch operations, we'll go over the daily operations of a dispatcher, the software and technology used in dispatching, load planning and optimization strategies. I mean, when this truck's ready to move, you got to know where this freight's coming from, where it's going to, how much it weighs. This here's on a split double right here. As you can see, he's carrying a load of lumber. It looks like it's probably number 2 pine or whatever. This might be an area where birch is coming out of. Uh, but when you're looking at these loads, there's paperwork behind every one of these boards when they're being moved. The software involved, how they found the load, planning, route planning, everything. And your accountability and your overall communication with this driver is highly, highly important. Finding and booking loads, utilizing load boards and other resources, rate negotiations and market analysis, creating effective load board confirmations and contracts. This is this is a lot what you're doing daily too. You're looking at the load boards, determining what freight that you're going to need. Let's say for this unit, this is going to be a reefer unit, 53 foot, probably California compliance since it has the side skirts on it. You'll find something for this truck, negotiate it, make sure that wherever they're coming and going to, there's obviously at least market value. That goes with negotiating the rates, market analysis to actually look at the board, not just looking at DATs to try to determine what overall freight is going. You're looking at the overall area where it's coming out of to see what the freight prices look like in comparison to the national average, and that gives you an idea. Well, obviously there must be a lot of trucks there. Don't just assume it, but that's overall the way you got to play it, because you cannot stop all the time and look, but you just got to keep. For this right now, I know the market is roughly $2.50 a mile. That's currently. So, I do want to make sure that my load is at least getting as close as I can or above it. If it's a hot load, then, or what do I have to offer? I got new equipment, looks like an air ride trailer. What else? Let's say that I got a team in there. So we're talking about nonstop on the freight. These things. I mean, you got a great reefer unit. It looks like it's in excellent condition. So these are the factors that you got that you can use to negotiate with them. And it's, oh, well, we got this, we got this. It just depends. If it's an ice cream load, you don't want a piece of crap trailer with your load in it. You're going to probably have a claim because something to go wrong with the Thermo King or, whichever type of reefer unit it has. But creating effective load confirmations and contracts, that's going to be your load confirmation. You deal with the broker. He says, all right, we'll do it for this. He sends you load confirmation. When he does it, make sure you read over that thing and make sure everything is there. Because remember, once you got that, your BOL and everything is going to be where your driver picks up that load. So you got to have, then that's going to get you your proof of delivery. You got to have this information in order to be able to submit it to factoring to get paid within 24 hours. Depending on how you're running your factoring, it's going to depend on how quickly you need to get, to get paid. Because remember, this thing probably has, I'm just guessing, okay, probably 125 gallons on each side. So you're talking about 250 gallons times whatever the fuel market price in the fuel market, whatever price that's going at the pump for fuel. And obviously, you need to know where to look that up to understand what the fuel prices are for that given week that you're in. But anyways, I hope that helped. But we'll go over this. By the time we get done, this will be one fluid thought on how to handle this. Communication skills. We'll go over techniques of effective communication with all parties, handling disputes and difficult conversations, building relationships within the industry. Always going to be something difficult, but look, step up. You're handling trucks now. That's we're talking about $300,000 for a truck and trailer setup these days. So don't be shy. You come in here with your alpha game on it, and you make alpha money. The financial aspects of dispatching. That's what it's all about anyways. Understanding compensation structures, that's commissions, fees, invoice creation and billing processes, whether it's going back through the broker to go to the shipper or dealing with the factoring, or if it's something like some stuff actually still gets paid COD. Depends on what kind of trailers you have. Tracking expenses and managing cash flow. This is going to be, if you're dealing with trucks, this might be managing the overall variable expenses, not the fixed cost of running a truck. By the time you get done, you will know what it takes to run a truck as well. So you're getting multiple levels of understanding in the logistics community by being a freight dispatcher. Operational challenges, they happen all day, every day. Handling abandoned loads and double brokering issues. Abandoning these trucks is being a big issue. It's almost like having a DUI. They abandon that truck, they can't even hardly get another truck, but you still got to recover this truck, and it may fall back onto you. It may not be the fleet management because some places may not have it. And double brokering these loads, which is totally against the law, which may also cost you not getting paid for that freight. Yeah, you can always go back to the shipper and bill them, because if it went through one set of hands and another, that brokerage should have handled it, and most time they will try to get a resolution because they don't want to lose their customer. Strategies for emergency roadside assistance. This really is going to fall more on the freight managers, and we'll go over that. Dealing with delays and logistical challenges, traffic, weather, equipment failures, you name it. But we'll go over it, and you'll know how to handle this as well. Tools and resources. Tools and resources come in a lot of different shapes and sizes when it comes to logistics. For this here, it's going to be an introduction to industry-specific software like TMS and ELDs. ELDs are going to be inside the truck. That's what actually monitors that truck. That's where they have their HOS on there, the hours of service. And this is a tracking system right here for freight. And access to freight and carrier databases, absolutely. Because your load boards are exactly what this is. And your carrier may have direct freight too, may have dedicated accounts. But we'll go over this. By the time we get done, you'll understand that. Resource management and networking with carriers. Like I said, this is a social type of setup. So make sure you understand how to be a social person when it comes to other dispatchers, brokers, carriers. You're definitely in the middle of the crossroads. Career development and job placement. Okay, building a resume and interviewing preparation. We'll go over that. Networking opportunities within the industry and guidance on securing a position or starting a dispatch business. All this is going on because remember, we're giving you guaranteed job placement. If you don't want to do guaranteed job placement, that you want to do your own business, let me know. I want to make sure that everybody comes out of the school, out of the course with some kind of foothold, um, because I got drivers that are on the road and I want them out of the trucks as fast as possible, because I want them I want everybody moving as dispatchers, because I'm networking with you too. Remember, I still dispatch. So we'll go over these as well. All right, this is just going to be additional elements of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing practical exercises, simulations, and real world scenarios to reinforce the learning. We will be doing mentoring. You got me for 90 days. Okay. So also I've got some other dispatchers. They haven't totally agreed to it because I really haven't done this one because everybody works so much, because it's logistics. Remember, you're never going to be bored. That's for sure. But with this here, and remember, in logistics, you're working from home. You can have 4 trucks if that's all you want, 10 trucks, or you can scale it up. resource library. In the text, I have added everything I possibly can think of, whether it's virtual. I mean, this is a virtual textbook, videos, templates, other materials, PowerPoints, without audio and with audio. So if there's something you see that would help you be a better student in learning this, let me know, because I can easily develop it because I know this like the back of my hands. Now, additional support and networking, the word networking again, there it is. What we got going on, weekly webinars. I do these every week based on topics that people seem to be hurting on. I listen to everybody, and whatever seems to be the most dominant subject, then that's what I make the webinar about. And after that, we do a Q&A, social networking. You'll be social networking straight out the gate with us. But in the groups and the webinars and everything, definitely engage with other other logistics professionals. And you guys just start. You're getting the rhythm already. By this as we go through it, and that way you got people to work with. We do a thing where you can, when you fill out the form, where you can opt in to be on TikTok. You don't have to attend. We just send out a message. Hey, here's the link. We're on TikTok Live. You come in. You can ask questions. Another great place to social network. Or you can be on the live stream where you get on there. We have discussions, go over stuff, whatever particular subject, even the stuff that people might text at the bottom, and we'll go over that, and we highlight different factors, and we get brainstorming in there too. This is a good point where I can listen to other drivers. I mean, I keep saying other drivers because I got so many truck drivers, other dispatchers, other people in logistics, and let's hear what they've had happen, what they've had done. I don't try to make it a wartime, telling war stories, but it is a great time to actually look at the stuff from a different point of view and what other people have experienced. Guaranteed job placement. Well, obviously, I got the carriers. Now, I'm getting it where a lot more people, once they're coming out of the carrier, because once they realize, why should I pay somebody else money so I can go to work for them? I just do it myself because I'm already giving you the leads. I'm giving you the truck driver phone numbers. So, as a guaranteed job placement, we'll obviously get you a secure position. We'll do resume assistance, as far as helping you make sure that resume looks good when you put it with the application, and lead generation for those that are going to do a dispatch service. I have tons of it from just being a driver recruiter. So make sure you get with me on that. So we can get you the right information, because I don't hunt these down. I'll tell you how I recruit as a truck driver recruiter, but I don't really have to do this because already, since I was a recruiter, already had a majority of my owner operators lined up, just because I met so many people over the time that I've been recruiter. But I'll show you easily how to get contact with owner operators, even lease purchase and lease rental. It depends on their agreement with the carrier on what they're allowed to do as far as where they generate their freight. Back to real world applications. This is going to be, again, this is hands-on training. So for one, you got the 40,000 drivers that I've got a database on. You got access to that. We do live board interactions with brokers that understand real-time operations. So we're going to get on the load board. We're going to actually do conversations with brokers, and then we get to hang up on them. But when you're looking for that freight, we want to make sure that you know how to engage, what factors to look at when you're bidding for the freight, and just don't take low freight. If you see you need to get it, if it meets the minimum of what the overall trend is, whether it's over the road or shorter runs, because over the road guys still do shorter runs. I love doing shorter runs. It always pays more. But it depends on what kind of truck and trailer you got. Depends on how quickly you're going to get unloaded. But also, let's see, we'll do the practical testing on the paperwork. That's doing the carrier packet. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to burp. Sorry. But the practical testing on the paperwork, the carrier packets, and the load confirmations. And now, obviously, there's some other variants, because carrier packets, they come in a million different shapes. They all got the same information, but everybody's got different layouts and different stuff they want to know. But we'll go over that as well. And obviously, I got great videos on this as well. So it's not just one-sided. You got videos that have lots of different demonstrations. They're really good. The stuff that you have inside the course is phenomenal. For those that can't make it to class, don't stress. You can have everything you need at your hands, and you don't have to. Well, for this, you'd want to be able to see it because you want to look at the paperwork. But a lot of it, you can just treat it as an audio book. Legal and compliance insights, understanding regulations. Now, know the legalities to avoid violations. Now, what we're talking about this is going to have to do with paperwork. So let's say, give the quick example I use a lot. If you're doing a carrier packet, you actually have to get a limited power of attorney. In that legal power of attorney, that gives you the right to use their signature, not write their signature. But if it's a load confirmation where you've actually been set up with that broker through the carrier packet, now you have access to get loads. So when they come through as a load confirmation, you are allowed to sign for the load confirmation because you're a representative of that company or that owner operator, which is still obviously a company. Now, the best practice for setting up loads include credit checks on brokers. I put this in here because first thing, don't even waste your time. If they ain't approved on the credit, I mean, A and B is what I go with. If they're anything beyond that, don't even consider them. It ain't no sense in a phone call. All that rest of that noise is just, you're just wasting time. If you're going to use brokers and make deals based on if you know what your driver is wanting to do as far as what routes, at that point you can just throw out a quick note each time you talk to one. That, hey, I got a driver, he likes running this route to this route, he's got this type of trailer, and whatever other details you can throw in there fast, and he'll tell you yes or no. He might stop long enough so you can make a deal to see what kind of freight he's got on that given lane to assist that owner operator or carrier to keep those trucks moving. Communication strategies. Yeah, that's a good one because everybody comes across differently. But you got to have effective coordination when it comes to this. When you coordination between communication between you, the brokers, the shippers, the carriers, and the drivers. But remember, that's four parts, and you're in the middle. So you got to make sure that the information is being conveyed, the paperwork's getting to where it needs to get to on time, and you're doing follow-ups, booking the next loads as they, they're going to drop or pickups. We'll go through all that. You'll know how to develop these skills. Now, developing strategies for keeping all parties informed throughout the dispatch process. That's the same thing as I just went over right there. So, all right, mentorship and resources, ongoing support, personal mentorship. Look, you got me for 90 days, like I believe I've already said, but I do have a lot more resources than just what have been mentioned in this short presentation. So definitely hit me on what you need, because I want to know what everybody's up to. That way I know how to help you to best succeed by the time we get done doing this program. Because like I said, I'm going to be networking with you if you jump on board inside the dispatching community. Access to virtual interactive textbook, already went over that. If there's any content that you see that maybe that I somehow could have missed, I'm like 99.9% sure everything's in there. But if there's something that would help you think to better be able to adjust to understand the information, let me know. I can get you what you need to make sure that everything's cohesive, that you cognitively got it, that you understand verbatim what the steps are, procedures, and of what it is to be a freight dispatcher. Okay, this is going to be earning potentials for freight dispatchers. This here is a bottom dollar. That means there's no reason you should go less than this. If you're actually earning less to this means you've done more than one thing. One, you've probably went for somebody that they're paying you by the hour, or two, you go to work for somebody that's paying you a straight percentage and not giving you no leeway to do other things. There's always other things that can be done. It depends on how restrictive they are. That's the reason about 80% of the people that I deal with, they end up becoming, they end up doing it on their own. They just do a dispatch service. If you want to do the dispatch service, let me know because, it's easy to do. You've already got the assets in your hand. You just don't realize it yet because if you have not been in logistics, just by me giving you the access to over 40,000 truck drivers, that's 40,000 trucks. That's 40,000 potential people that need your assistance in loading their trucks. That's not including that I'm still actively recruiting for companies because I do have to concentrate on my dispatching, get my trucks moving. But Maria, she actually handles all the the recruiting right now. So she does the paperwork for the classes and the courses, but her job is to do recruiting for trucking companies. So if you need any help, she's got fresh leads coming in every day. Not every trucking company, when you're talking about trucking company, look, they want 12%. they want 12%, 18%, they want 20%, and they want 25%. Any trucker that really knows how to be a trucker in logistics right now in 2024 is not going to go for that. The average dispatch service charges anywhere between 4 and 6%. Okay. And that trucker's already got his own authority. That means he owns his truck, owns his business, and has his own MC. He owns his MC. But anyways, let's do them out here. So running 4 to 10 trucks, I do it in the middle at 7 because that roughly at a dry van, that's about $6,000 per week. You can't get no lower, okay? 6,000, because remember, you got to do $1.60 to $1.80 per mile to make that truck be profitable. That's break even. That pays the driver, the truck, and everything. So anything after that pays the owner operator if he's got somebody running on that truck. So calculation, you do 6,000 times 7 trucks, which anybody ever, almost every dispatcher does at least 7 trucks, times 4%. You should not go less than 4% when it goes to working for somebody. That gives you $1,680 weekly income. These are 1099 positions. So you do that times 50 weeks. That's what we work in a week. In a year. And that gives you $84,000 for the year. That's on the least. That's the reason dispatchers that are actually dispatchers and that listen to me, you ain't got to listen to nothing I'm saying. You can regurgitate what I'm telling you, pass the test, and you're good. You did exactly what I discussed with you, and you accomplished that goal. But if you really want to be a dispatcher and you make money, I know money is not everything to everybody. I get it. There's changes in your life where you quit chasing the rabbit, but you can do this. This ain't one of those ones that's unattainable. Being a truck driver is the hardest way to do this because you are doing the most work out of every stage of this in the logistics cycle. But as a dispatcher, you're working from 7:30 to about 5 o'clock. Everybody's going home, so there ain't much else you can do. Unless you got direct shippers that you want to call them after hours and discuss something with them, even a lot of them guys are home being with their family. Truckers have caught hell, and they do the hardest part of this. And a lot of people don't understand that, and they don't even get it unless you've been a trucker. But that's what you're looking at, and you got the flexibility of working, and you also got the flexibility of being anywhere you want to call your home. I don't care if it's at the Motel 8. I don't care where it's at. As long as you got that computer, that headset, and that noise canceling, internet, the computer, and your noise canceling headset, you're good. Okay. There's nothing else that you need to do this job. There are things that I will do when you go through the chapter, and I kept it to the minimal amount of equipment that you need. And even that, if you really upscale it, once you invest in your gear of being a dispatcher, if you're going to do it for yourself, you don't have to keep buying stuff. That is your overhead. You don't have to buy a building and insurance and hire employees and all this other stuff. If you want to maintain it at your level, just generating about $100,000 a year. And don't just listen to me. Go on Indeed, ZipRecruiter. There's all kinds of platforms, Glassdoor. Look at what they're saying. And when you're looking at those averages, remember, you're looking at everybody. There's a lot of people out there that don't take this logistics into full account. And that's the reason some of them are going to be less than this. And the reason why is because for people like me and like truckers, this is what we do. This is our career. We live and breathe this. So for you that have not been, basically, I'm not saying born into logistics, but have not had a lot of time, definitely buddy up with truckers that are going to become dispatchers. Those are going to be your best friends. They know how it is on the road. They know how it is as the receiver and the shipper. Just take my word on that. Okay, let's move on forward. All right, for the dispatcher driver training program, all the students, everybody enjoys these exact same benefits. No matter how it works, if you're on the road, you're just doing the videos, because some people don't even attend the course. Everything's so much in detail in the book, they just go through the videos because everything I cover in the classroom is literally in the book as well. But for those, the benefit of being in the classroom is obviously you get the Q&A and any issues that you have, we need to get those addressed. And everybody's on Telegram, so if you ain't got Telegram, make sure you get it. But this is the benefit of actually attending the course. And this is just a short version. This is just the core content of what you get when attending the Truck Driver Nation Dispatch and Training Program. And the reason it says programs because I do teach a brokerage. I just haven't been teaching it right now because I've just got too much to deal with dealing with keeping my trucks dispatched. So all students enjoy the following benefits, comprehensive online classes. These are in-depth training covering essential aspects of freight dispatching. It covers the essential aspects of it, but it also covers everything else, the stuff that actually makes you function as a dispatcher. Now, you got a 90-day mentorship. That's going to be the guidance from me and obviously from Maria, but obviously it's mainly from me. You got everything you need. I don't care if you want to open a business, you're working for that company, if you have problems when you originally get there, whatever it might be. Because remember, when I say get there, you're not going nowhere. You're going to be actually going to work for them, but you're going to have to do this from home. That's the reason I need you to know this information. If you have anything that you don't know and you just don't get a full picture, you've got to let me know. I cannot help you if I don't know. You know, I've got 40 something students right now that are still inside the mentorship portion of it, and everybody, they don't come at me every day, but they still have questions. You know, should I do this? Should I do that? They're saying this. Is that right? So definitely let me know what you need. Guaranteed job placement. Obviously, we're securing you a job. That's when, as soon as you get your certification, we get your resume, we get everything. It's like we're hiring you for a truck driving position. You do the application. So we do the application, the resume. We need your driver's license, medical card, and for those that are not in the country, we don't need your social security card. I actually have to deal with somebody differently for y'all because it's a company that just don't care type of deal. From everybody else, they're going to care because you're still on 1099. Because when you fill out your stuff, you're going to fill out your W-9. Um, but anyways, what else? Once you get that submitted with your certificate, all that goes to the lady in human resources. Actually, there's two ladies and one guy. There's three different companies. Actually, I will give you the choice of which company you want to choose from. One's big, two are moderate size, but none of them are small. Secure employment opportunities with your certification, including you get a 30-day trial period with the carrier. The first 30 days, they are seeing that you know what you do. I mean, you knowing what you're doing as far as the dispatching. Because remember, you're not in their office, you're at home. That's the reason having the 90-day mentorship is so important. Don't play around. I can go on there and I can do a live screen share with you and show you what to do if you get hung up anywhere. Now, we go over a lot of practicing in this course, so prepare to practice. That's another important reason to be in class. Then you're followed by another 60-day period. This was all of them because this was the agreement I made with them. The next 60 days, you get full access to everything. You get access to their drivers, their boards, all their accounts, and everything. There's a couple of things they won't give you passwords to because they need to make sure you're full-time and permanent. Then after that, that gives you a full 90 days of basically probation, period, if you really figured it all together. After that, you're theirs. I mean, unless you decide to leave them, you are full-time employed, working from home wherever you want. Resume assistance, we help you with that resume. If it just don't look right, give it to me. I will fix it up. I just need to have the right data. We clean them up, make them look shiny, close all the dates. There's no missing time frames of being unemployed, all that good stuff. We want to present you, even though they'll take you. But remember, the seriousness of the way somebody's going to take you is what you reflect. I don't care if you've been working at Dollar Tree. Make sure it looks good, and we will help you. Extensive resource, access to the textbook. I cannot tell you how many full 18-hour days I have put into that textbook. If you find a textbook that's better than mine, I will literally kiss your ass because I put too much into this. I have covered every point with videos, PowerPoints, interactive applications. When I say applications, forms and documentation, where you go in there and you just fill it out. You don't have to print it off. Everything is interactive on my in that book. And you got PowerPoints with video and without audio, and even ones that have been converted into YouTube videos. So whichever means that you use to listen to your course, I've got you covered. If there's something I'm missing, let me know. But I ain't no way in hell I missed anything. Flexible payment options. There are also going to be some flexible payment options. We'll go over that when we get to that point. Networking opportunities. There's no way you don't build a network with me. You've got access to TikTok and everything else to do this. You've got tons of people that will easily talk to you and team up with you. They're not your business partners. They're simply other dispatchers or other people in logistics that will work with you. Networking is what this is all about. Weekly webinars. We'll go over that. You got Q&As on every Friday with the webinars. So we do a short presentation based on what I've heard most of the issues being, and then we go through Q&A, and you can ask anything. TikTok live streams, we do that. So another good place to social network. If you get into one of the boxes, because remember it's only like 9 or 12 boxes, I can't remember. Because even Maria does it for me sometimes because I'm just too still busy with other things. But when you're in there, ask all the questions you want to. Talk to other drivers. Network, network, network. Affiliate program, if you want to actually work for us at the school, as far as dispatch, I mean not dispatching, but generating people that want to come attend the program, or if you want to teach, let me know. I do have, if you ain't got to teach full time, I just need people to cover classes for me, but you're going to have to be trained up as well as I am. I prefer people that, I mean, because people that don't have no experience, they get good. Okay. That means they've never been in logistics. But if you're good, I would love to have the opportunity that you could teach. And, you know, and when you're teaching, remember, you're social networking there. There's more advantages than just rattling off the course content and answering questions. But, that's your choice. We'll cover that if you want that. That's more of a side thing. You shouldn't get in it too deep right here. Certification upon completion. It is a certification. I give you the certification. It's actually like DocuSign. It's got a code on it that's legally binding that says you completed my course. That certification goes with your application and stuff with that everything else to the carrier. And so when you do the carriers, just make sure you pick out one. I don't send them to all three. I don't need all three people saying, yeah, we'll take you. And, because they're all starting out at the same percentage. But anyways, let's move forward. All right, course schedule. When we're looking at this, we got live classes Tuesday and Thursdays. I do it from 6 to 8 p.m. because the drivers are busy, okay? And I try to accommodate the truck drivers. I do it on Central Standard Time. They hopefully will get shut down because I really want to get to them before they eat and shower and whatever, because after that, I know how tired they are. They're going to be wanting to pass out. If you do miss your classes, don't worry. All the sessions are recorded. So you still have the information you can jump back on. Just throw this in. When you do get certified, you got a 50 question test to do. You got to make at least 80% on it to pass. I'm really evaluating everybody hard because the reason I'm doing guaranteed job placement. By me guaranteeing that I'm going to put you with one of three carriers, I've got to know when you go sit down in front of your computer at your house, because you don't have somebody standing over your shoulder from that carrier that like you're sitting in their dispatch. I got to know you know what you're doing, because I've, I've, I've haven't had no problems so far. A couple of little twitches and kinks, but nothing major. But when we get done, you'll know how to dispatch. And remember, you're truck drivers. You've been breathing this. You just don't realize how much you've been breathing it. But for drivers, it's going to come across really quick and really easily for you guys. All right, format, schedule. So the class is online. Materials are recorded and all that. It's going to be about a 4 to 8 week walk. Depends on how knowledgeable you are in logistics. I do get people that do quit. They actually do get done in 4 weeks, but some of those are actually dispatchers that didn't know all the bells and whistles, and they needed to be recapped and really pushed in another direction to stretch their mind on how to objectively look at what they're doing, not just be in the subjective situation where they turn their day-to-day actions into a routine and they can't seem to get out of it. The classes do start every Tuesday. We give this orientation usually on Wednesdays, and then obviously the next Tuesday, because we have to bill you and get payment for the course and get you your book, give you time to start looking over it. So I usually, like, if I do this on Wednesday, then you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday to obviously go through everything, get your head right in the game by looking the book over extremely well, and be prepared, to go forward. But like, as soon as I give you the book, start with the chapters and just start watching videos. I mean, whichever way you want to do it. There's PowerPoints in the back and everything. Okay, this is going to be course payment options. This is going to be two of the options that we're currently offering. And so we'll go through these and then we'll have a discussion. If you need some special consideration, because I have had a woman like with 3 children. I mean, it's got to be a real valid reason. I mean, it's because look, I'm just starting out. I'm an actual dispatcher, so you have to understand. I actually work for a living. Me doing this is because driver recruiting is went down so badly that I'm doing this. I'm giving you my knowledge. I'm giving you my connections. This ain't like somebody trying to build a company. You know, it ain't no beg neither. If you don't want to attend, please don't waste my time, okay? It's just better off for you and better off for me. I only need people that I would want to work with myself personally once you complete the course. But anyways, let's go over the options real quick. Course details, so obviously the name of our company. The total is $500 for the program. Down payment, I'm given two options. You can do a down payment of $150, and then you'll actually make additional payments over the next 3 months. The afterpay, that is an option we have. We have another business that we're setting up with where it's basically buy now, pay later. It depends. I don't know how they're dependent on. I thought, well, maybe they were off their credit. I ran mine and it gave me zero just to test it. Gave myself an invoice through Square, which is the banking platform we use when we invoice students, and it cleared me, and I was surprised. Okay, I mean, I probably couldn't afford a mailbox, you know. So remaining balance, and don't feel bad. Everybody's broke. I don't care who it is to the left and the right of you. They know it. I know it. People are just prideful in the United States because we've always had it so good. Welcome to the hard times. I was raised like this during the 70s, and so for me, this is a repeat book. This is retro for me. I'm used to this type of deal. Remaining balance, obviously, if you put the 150 down, you'll have a remaining balance of $350 if you choose option one. Now with option one, that's going to be the standard payment plan. Okay, so you put the 350 down, and you're going to do 3 months at $116.67 at 30 days. So every 30 days you have a new and due. I do give you a grace period because, like I said, I understand what is going on. I've literally got people crying to me because they don't have freight for their trucks, and it ain't us. You know, if you came to me sooner, I could easily worked on getting you some direct freight or whatever to bring your numbers up. But even I know there's probably truck drivers in here because I've talked to some of them. I don't know if they're in this group, but you know, I'm sorry you're losing your trucks. I mean, it's who you're letting dispatch for you. It's who gets the direct freight, and actually, it's the overall broker. Because if they don't have good freight, that's the wrong brokerage. Just go through that and keep pushing till you get the right broker. Now, the afterpay schedule, when you do that, I don't have a lot of say. I did review it when I was looking at it. It gave me two options. It gave me 6 months and it gave me 12 months. I didn't have to pay nothing up front, so it gave me 6 months at $58.33 per month for 6 months. If I stretched it out for 12 months, it put me at $29.17 per month. You know, you spend more than that eating a meal these days, so you know I would definitely consider that. That would probably be the best options for a lot of people that if you need that, you know, just to keep the bills down. Now, payment methods, obviously, the student can choose one of the following payment methods. This is going to be with if you choose to do the 150 with $116.67 a month. We did it before, but we didn't do nothing, and the far as to ensure that we were able to get our money for every month because people get tight in the situations. So to bring up the responsibility level, we added the direct debit authorization or the post-dated checks. Post-dated checks I don't like because now you got to go to the courthouse and you got to do all the unnecessary crap. Direct debit authorization, that's, you know, you sign an agreement. It just provides a withdrawal installment payments directly from the person's account based on the due dates. If you don't if you don't think you're going to have the one for the direct debit authorization, it could charge you a bank fee, so be advised of that. I don't like people saying, oh, it direct drawed and you cost me whatever. I'm afraid I didn't cost you nothing. It's just like my bank. If I don't have the money in my account, it'll sure as hell, even with sometimes with overdraw protection, it'll still hit me for 35 bucks. I go in and I fight it. Sometimes they give it back to me. Sometimes they tell me, oh, well, that's not our problem. And the post-dated checks, like I said, and that means you got to mail the checks to me. I don't really like this one, but I've done it twice, and you know, it's post-dated checks. I have to actually remember to deposit them in the bank, but you already got the date on them, so we can't deposit them before then because the bank won't clear them. So you don't have to worry about somebody doing some scandalous crap because as a dispatcher, you're going to find out how many scams are out there, and it's pretty bad, especially with double brokering. Now, late payment and penalties, I put everything in here because I don't want the confusion. Okay, most people wouldn't tell you all this crap. I need you to know. I'd rather you be with me and enjoy being with me and learning from me because I want to network with you once you get done completing the course. Penalties, if you don't, now look, we're giving a, right here, see the grace period? Let's jump on that first. That's 5 to 7 days after the due date that we're giving you to pay if you're paying any other method. So in other words, you got a 5 to 7 day period. We're not charging you nothing. If you do actually have that period after that, then it's $35 a late charge, okay? Now, this ain't going to be for the ones that are doing going to be doing the ones that are going to be doing the direct draw, because this is on the payment that you're not using Afterpay. This is going to be the one that are actually doing the post-dated checks if we come up with that agreement. Because I have to actually call the bank, see how old the account is and everything else, and make sure it's an established account. It can't be something you just ran down the street, threw $20 in, and now I'm dealing with a problem. But all you got to do on the post-dated checks is just call me, let me know, hey, don't put that check in there because it ain't gonna be nothing in there. And you still have that 5 to 7 days late payment option, grace period. And then at that point, obviously, we'll put the check in after that because you can't put it in there before then. But after the date, you can put them in it. Okay, so let me know, and we'll hold off of sending the checks in. But besides that, that pretty much will covers the payment options, and we'll leave it at that. Now, final thoughts. Look, okay, we definitely encourage you to register. Even if you register, let's say, and you're on TikTok, you're still allowed to come to the rooms, okay? You won't get certified, but I encourage everybody that wants to be a dispatcher to join the webinar that I have on Fridays and the webinar, the TikTok. It lets you know really what you're getting into for those that need more information. So you're welcome to come in those, even if you don't attend our course. Because you might end up doing something different. I don't really know what, because it's hard to find a dispatching job. If I didn't already know I had dispatching jobs or have the ability to help you set up a dispatching service to show you how it's done, then I would never ever have pulled you into this direction, because I've got truck drivers that are 100% dependent on me, and a lot of the truck drivers already know me. I was a recruiter and probably got them a job or whatever that has to do with. But for those that don't know me, they are not immediately engaged in the logistics community. I totally get it. But obviously, you can also call. I literally have references to people that I actually recruit for. You can give them a call. And I'll give you one person's name, because if I give you anybody else's name, then you're calling all inside the offices, and they're going to wonder what the hell it is. So, and these are actually friends that are either, you literally might be even talking to chief operations officers. I don't give a rat's ass. I've known them my whole life. I've known them 20 plus years. So they know they got to do me this favor by covering for me sometimes the way I cover for them when I'm sending them drivers. And, because everything you know about companies, you're going to learn the ins and outs being a dispatcher. You know the bull crap they pull, because sometimes they ain't got no choice, not on the drivers, but pulling it on the people that are trying not to pay them, because you get double brokered and you got a real issue. But we'll go over double brokered inside the course and explain how that works. All right, this is a quick reminder on I'd call it a special offer. It's an offer. So if you bring students, they come and learn their course with me, and I teach them how to become actual functioning freight dispatchers. Then you get a 20% referral off of whatever the tuition is. Right now we're at 500. Probably about 6 more months, we're actually going to have to go up to 2,000. We've done everything. Everything still looks good. It seems to be functioning good. So this was just a short-time offer while we got the kinks out of our software and make sure everything's flowing real good, because remember, we've only been doing it about 5 months. So everybody's been going to the carriers real well, no backlash. The only one I've had one person that got there, definitely didn't like being online with them, because he felt like they weren't giving them all the right information. In actuality, they were. I hate to say this, they passed the test, but they didn't really understand how to function as a dispatcher. And if they'd brought it to my attention, we'd address those issues and it made it. But we did get it fixed, so don't worry. Even after the fact, if that happens, we're going to get you fixed up. But I wish he had not done that. It really threw a bad light on me. And it's like, I was like, look, dude, I've already given you this many dispatchers, and they functioned real well. So that's the biggest thing as an instructor I've had to learn, is that drag information out of students. It sucks. because the only thing I got to scale you by is what I see when we do the live broker calls and when we do the paperwork, learning how to do carrier packets, looking at how to do factoring, and and watching you do, when you're doing the bids with a broker, seeing how you actually figure out your route, how much money you need to make on that load, and stuff like that. That's the only thing I've got to scale you by. I mean, that's probably more than most teachers do. But if you're hiding something because you think, oh, you get too prideful, man, the hell with pride. This is your job. This is where you're going to make over 100,000 a year. Don't be prideful. Let me know. I am here to assist you. That's what you're paying me for, okay? So let me know where you're at, what you're hurting in, so we can make sure it's straight before you step out the door. All right, new page, new beginning, new chapter, whichever one you want to pick. This is definitely it. If you give me your complete attention, your complete devotion for the number 4 to 8 weeks, right? That is not jack shit. That's less than a college quarter, okay? Because there's 4 quarters in a year, or even a semester. That's like half of a semester almost. I mean, less than a third of a semester, just the 4 to 8 weeks. You give me that much attention, and you're dedicated to this, and you ask me the questions that you need to know. I promise you, you're going to come out of here looking like you're going to be sharp when you get done. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you about this new beginning. You're stepping into being a freight dispatcher. The money's there. You can travel. You can do whatever. You're working from home. You got the convenience of being with your family. You can take that 18-wheeler, that tractor, either sell it or burn it and collect the insurance. As far as my drivers, yeah, I put nice, pretty trucks on here, but you know a majority of us don't drive these nice trucks like this. We end up with some fleet truck that is minimal as far as everything they put in it to it. The only thing they're not minimalizing is the ability to track us, watch us on cameras, and everything like that. When it comes to if you're working for a company, even their trucks that we're getting that they're trying to push us out of them, our older trucks, because I had an older Pete, which was very nice. Had a super legacy sleeper with everything, the bells and whistles. I mean, kitchen, shower, bathroom, everything in it. So, even they're trying to make it where I can't, wouldn't even be able to run that truck because it was a 2001. I wish I got it earlier, so it would have been, ELD exempt, but I wasn't. But but anyways, for y'all coming in, this is a new beginning. You have any questions, you have any concerns, whatever you need to understand what you're getting to and make sure this is obtainable for you, which it absolutely is. This is not neuroscience. This is completely obtainable. Let me know. Let's get you on the class. Remember, classes start Tuesdays, and we got to get you squared away, get you the book. As soon as you get the book, start watching the videos inside there so you're at least up to speed. So when you're going through the chapters, you're not behind and like, I ain't heard that before. This is all new to me. If you watch the videos, that's not going to be new to you. You're already going to say, okay, I got that. I already know that. The videos are to the point. It's not a lot of wasted content. It literally gets you what you need to know, and it puts it in a way with a lot of visuals. So you got visual, auditorial, and practical. You're going to be mainly visual and auditorial, and the practical is going to be us doing all the other scenarios and stuff like that. Calling brokers, finding out how to bid a load, then hanging up on their ass, that type of thing. But let me know. Let's get you going. I appreciate everybody's time, and I hope everybody has a blessed day. Now we're going to go into the Q&A if you're actually attending this online. Sometimes people ask for this, so we send it out as an attachment to a file. So for you, well, you can give me a call or whatever you need to do to ask those additional questions. But anyways, thank you so much for your attention.